Hello everybody, today I'm going to be doing a deep dive on a pretty controversial and talked about subject, this Taylor Swift and Scooter Braun feud. I know it's been talked about a lot and it actually, kind of originates a few years back. But I think really just having a clear timeline and a deep dive into this subject, I have some receipts, I've done some research, so if you've ever been confused or if you have some questions about this, hopefully this video clears it up for you. I'll probably give my opinions towards the end, but gonna be going through as far as facts, dates, and what actually has taken place. Let's kind of start from the beginning of this whole entire drama. This kind of started publicly, at least, June 30th, 2019. Scooter's media holdings company, it was called Ithaca Holdings. They acquired Big Machine label, which is Taylor Swift's old record label. And Scooter's company, they bought this for over $300 million or almost $300 million. And that gave him ownership of all clients, the roster, distribution deals, publishing, artist masters, which would include the rights to Taylor Swift's first 6 albums, because again, this was her old record label, so she previously released music with that label. And it wasn't just Taylor, it was multiple artists also that their masters were also taken, but obviously Taylor is the biggest artist that Big Machine Records has ever produced, clearly. Continuing on, this happened June 30th. On the same day, June 30th, Taylor went on to Tumblr, her Tumblr account, and she really posted a really detailed post there explaining the beef that she has with Scooter. It's from her point of view, it starts from in the past where Taylor was getting bullied from Scooter. Now, she actually has receipts that she posted on this Tumblr page. She, number one, showed a picture of Justin Bieber, and this is a Instagram post that was screenshotted by her. Basically, in this post and on the caption, it's like a FaceTime call. Justin is on the phone with Kanye West, and Scooter's in the background. You can see that he's on the phone or he's behind Kanye, but you can tell the phone call was kind of more so based around Justin and Kanye, and Scooter was kind of in the background. And basically, this was kind of during the time point or the point of Taylor's life when Kim had posted the video or the recording of her without Taylor's consent, and everyone was calling Taylor a snake. So that was kind of during that point of view. Justin actually commented something pretty shady saying, "Taylor Swift, what's up?" or "where you are," or "where are you at?" something like that. And that was screenshotted. That was kind of put at the top of the Tumblr post to show that there was already some animosity, some beef prior to any of this happening. Number two, she also mentions how, and she uses the word his client when talking about Kanye West. So that was Scooter's client, Kanye West, organized a revenge porn video talking about that video that Kanye did where Rihanna, Donald Trump, and Kim and Taylor, a few other famous people were in it. And apparently that was a revenge porn video. Honestly, in that sense, I feel like Kanye West is really weird. So I do feel like that may have been more so on Kanye's side and his mental state to produce that video. I don't know if that was really Scooter's idea, but it was definitely his client at the time when that all happened. She later goes on to talk about how Scooter stripped her of her life's work without giving her any opportunity to buy it, which obviously anyone would be mad about that. She later states that she was at peace with the fact that Scott, which is the previous owner of her old label, would eventually sell her masters, but she never imagined it would be Scooter. So kind of to her idea or her point, she never really owned her masters. She was okay with the idea of her masters, that she left with that label being sold elsewhere. But I guess her problem just had, or stems from it being Scooter Braun, which is the owner. Yeah, so I guess the problem was the fact that Scooter was going to be the one purchasing them and profiting off of her masters, and I guess she never really liked Scooter. Now, according to Taylor Swift, anytime Scott, which again is the owner of the old label, has mentioned the word Scooter Braun to Taylor, it was when Taylor was crying or trying not to cry. So there must have been some trauma with Taylor and Scooter from the past where, there just wasn't, they weren't coming to an agreement, or she was either crying or emotional, maybe. But celebrities were definitely taking their sides. There was Selena Gomez, obviously, on Taylor's side. Gigi Hadid, Iggy Azalea were obviously on Taylor Swift's side. I think this was like the time when, they were having their squad goals moment. And then, Scooter's clients were definitely prepping and taking up for Scooter. Justin was doing some work online defending his man. And also Demi Lovato too as well. She was, active online defending Scooter. Sia. Ariana posted a story congratulating Scooter when this originally happened, but she later deleted this story after a little bit of backlash. So September 18th, Scooter alleges that Taylor declined his past offers to perform at One Less Manchester and the Parkland shooting because they were run by Scooter. Taylor responds on Rolling Stone, and she says that this claim is actually unbelievable, that they're claiming this because anyone on her team knows that not to bring up Scooter Braun because it's going to be a no or whatever the question is. So pretty much she's saying that she never declined it because she never was even aware of this deal, because her team knows not to bring up Scooter Braun to her, even if it was for a beneficial concert or if it was for One Less Manchester, it wouldn't matter. That's kind of what she was saying. I can kind of understand where she's coming from. If she told her team beforehand, don't mention anything about Scooter Braun or don't mention any offers by Scooter Braun, then they're probably not going to bring up anything to her, because at the end of the day, they're on her payroll. So if your boss is telling you not to do something, they're not going to do it. So that's just probably what ended up happening. It was quiet up until November the 14th, 2019. So this is kind of when Taylor puts a note on her social media, and she's saying that Scooter is not allowing her to perform any of her old songs. And she also asks for assistance. She asks for help from Scooter's clients. She says, and I quote, "Please let Scott Borchetta and Scooter Braun know how you feel about this. Scooter also manages several artists who I really believe care about other artists and their work. Please ask them to help with this. I'm hoping that maybe they can talk some sense into the man who are exercising tyrannical control over someone who just wants to play their music she wrote." She wanted her fans to kind of ask not only Scooter, but also Scooter's clients. So Justin, Ariana, Demi, whoever. Like, y'all, can you guys help me? November 19, 2019, this is 5 days later, Scooter posts a photo on Twitter reading, "Kindness is either the only or the best response," is what he said. And yeah, I guess it was a pretty subliminal message there. Moving forward, so now we are in, where are we? So we're in November 22nd. This is, again, 3 days after the 19th when Scooter posted his picture on Twitter. So November 22nd, Scooter also posts a statement on Instagram. And basically in this statement, he's asking Taylor, and he wants Taylor and him to talk it out, put their differences aside, because he and his family are receiving death threats, his children, his wife, and I guess Scooter is kind of over it at this point. He's like, probably fuck the money. I don't need the drama. It's not doing anything for me. I'm just getting hate. I'm getting death threats. The business is not worth it. Now, moving forward, we're in February now, so it's February 27th, 2020. Swift releases The Man, the music video that's allegedly about Scooter. I guess that was pretty quiet that year during 2020. She just kind of releases The Man music video, and that's kind of her little shade moment allegedly at Scooter for that year. Alright, now we're in November, so it's November 16th, 2020. So Scooter sells Big Machine Records, and he made his profit. He sold it for more than what he bought it for. Taylor goes on Twitter later that night, claims that she attempted negotiations with Scooter for over a year, but didn't go very far because he insisted that she sign a non-disclosure agreement. So that's the reason why she never went through with the negotiations and why she never purchased the music during that last year of when they were speaking. Now, after this happened, that's kind of how Taylor reacts to this news of her music being sold. And she also says that because of the fact that Scooter would still be profiting off of the old music with the deal that he made with the new buyer, she didn't want to have any, I guess, parts with the new buyer either. She was not having it with the new buyer. She didn't want to work with them. She didn't want to buy her masters back from them. She didn't want to deal with them either because they were still allowing Scooter to profit off of her old music. So now we're in June, and it's June 23rd, 2021. Scooter gets, I guess, hired, or he gets asked to do a Variety article on Variety. And he's giving his, rundown on what happened with Taylor and him. He's claiming that her story is not based on anything factually. He claims that she refused to sit down with him even one time. Claims he offered to sell her catalog, but her team declined due to the non-disclosure agreement. He said that he finds her to be incredibly talented and wants nothing but the best for her. Now, where are we today? So, Taylor is currently re-recording her albums, and I think she's like the #1 most streamed female artist. She took that from Ariana. I know Scooter is mad. And she's re-recording her earlier 6 albums. She's on tour. She's making her money. And honestly, she's probably, I would say she may have won this situation as far as in the public image goes. Now, as for Scooter, he has reflected back on the situation, and he says that he learned a few important lessons after this feud with Taylor. He was saying that there was a few things that he would have changed if he could. He pretty much was saying that that he himself was in a non-disclosure agreement with Big Machine Records, which is also the reason why he was not able to really say too much before the deal was actually closed. And then also too, he states that he was actually excited to work with every artist on the label. And he started making phone calls after the deal was closed to tell artists that he was a part of it. He says that he made assumptions that everyone, once the deal was done, was going to have a conversation with him, see his intent, and see his character, and say, great, let's be in business together. And he made that assumption with people that he did not know. And that's a good point that he made, because even though you may anticipate or you may think that there's no beef on your side with someone, they may have beef on their side and you may have no idea. And because you got yourself in the middle of this, now you look like the villain publicly. Now, as for everybody else, all the Swifties and Taylor Swift fans, they are still to this day very mad with Scooter Braun, and a lot of them still think that he actually has her masters. They'll still tweet him saying, "Oh, give Taylor her masters back," or "Give Taylor her music back." A lot of them are even, I've been seeing online that people are spreading the narrative that Scooter is supporting genocide in Yemen. There's a lot going on and a lot of different lies and narratives being spread. So I hope that this video clarifies what actually has taken place and what has not taken place. Now, with that being said, I do also want to put my 2 cents and my thoughts. So what I will say about this is I do see both sides. I mean, if this were, my piece of art, I would want to own my piece of art. However, just from a business contractual side here, it's confusing to me. It's confusing to me because, for one, why are you as an artist okay with your music being sold to someone else, but not to one particular person? And I get it, maybe you just don't like Scooter or whatever, and you guys have your beef. But to me, it's like the receipts that she was posting, it didn't seem, number one, like recent enough beef, and number two, it didn't seem like it was really directly involving Scooter. It kind of felt like she was reaching a little bit. For one, it's like if you have to post receipts of drama that like happened years ago, it sounds like people were not aware of the drama because it wasn't really too present. Like if you're circling a face, like we're gonna ignore Justin, we're gonna ignore Kanye, we're gonna ignore everybody else. We're just gonna circle Scooter and say he was the one that is bullying me. Even though Justin is the one that posted it on his Instagram and is the one that called you out. Same thing with the Kanye West stuff and the Kim Kardashian stuff. I really don't think that Scooter called Kim Kardashian and said, "Oh, Kim, like, I think you need to call Taylor, record her, and post it." Like, I feel like we're giving him too much credit. People have their own minds. I really do think Kanye, with all that he has going on in his crazy mind right now, we should all be fully aware that this is something in the realm of his mind. Number one, Scooter allows his artists to kind of have their own identity, but at the same time, it's just like a little bit weird, because it's just like, it seems like you are okay with your music being sold, but just not being sold to one particular man. And then it's like when this man is trying to reach out to you, at least from what it seems like to me, he tried to offer you to give you your masters back. If you wanted to buy it, you had the option to buy it, but you would have to sign a non-disclosure agreement. And honestly, I do see where Scooter is coming from because, as I mentioned earlier, if he's getting death threats and threats to his family and his wife, you're going to want the main person that's talking about him to stop talking. And if you want your masters back, since I own your masters, this is what you have to do. You have to, number one, buy them back because this is not free. And number two, you need to stop talking about me. That's probably where I think he was coming from with that non-disclosure agreement. And it's just confusing to me because I don't know, like I feel like there's a lot of things that Taylor has said about Scooter that I kind of get, but I'm also kind of giving a side eye. Like the whole thing about the Parkland shooting and the One Less Manchester concert. Like I get that you didn't decline it because you've always told your team not to even mention Scooter or bring him up. So because of the fact that you don't like Scooter, you pretty much declined, or you didn't even allow an offer to be made to you because you don't like this person. So you didn't want to, perform for the Parkland shooting. You didn't want to perform for all the people that lost their, I guess, family and lives in Manchester. Like, that's kind of feels like maybe you're taking this beef a little bit too far, especially because both of those concerts happened before any music was purchased. So that's why I'm like, where's the beef before? Why didn't Taylor like Scooter before? Like you're declining concerts. You're saying that anytime that Scooter's been brought up, that it's because she's crying or trying not to cry. And to me, it's just like, can we like, can we get to the bottom or can we get to the real reason? Because I'm sorry, but a picture of a FaceTime with Justin and Kanye and Scooter in the back is not gonna be real drama to me. I feel like there's another reason that she's not telling people as to why she doesn't like Scooter. Because I get the other beefs. Like, I feel like the real beefs, like with Kanye or with Justin, like those are actual like real beef. But it almost just feels like you're picking at someone just out of being associated with someone else, but you don't actually have any real beef with that person. You're showing us receipts for this, like to try to get us to agree with you that there's drama. I don't know. The drama didn't really seem like there to me, and it kind of honestly seems one-sided to me. In Scooter's final interviews and final thoughts on this feud, he's still kind of saying, Taylor's talented. Taylor is someone that he wishes that he was able to work with. He's apologetic about this, but number one, I don't think I've seen Taylor be apologetic about anything as far as this whole entire subject. I don't think she's ever really apologized for the bullying or harassment that him or his family have received. If anything, I feel like she's actually supported that by telling her fans to reach out to Scooter and also reach out to not just Scooter, but Scooter's clients. So Ariana, Demi, Justin, to try to get them to also assist. And it's just like, what do you want them to do? Like, especially when we're hearing that you guys are in negotiations and talking about, buying the music back, and you didn't buy it back. Now, when the music gets sold by someone else, because at the end of the day, this is business, and what is, you want to make money. Scooter made his profit back. At the end of the day, the way I see it, Scooter purchased a bankrupt label that was going bankrupt. He bought it, and it was a smart buy because of the simple fact that it had Taylor Swift's masters on it. He sold this label and he made more money. So all that extra money that he made was profit. You can't get mad at somebody for buying something when you failed to buy it and you have multiple chances to buy it. I don't know what she thought was gonna happen. Maybe she thought that they were just gonna give her masters for free. And this is the thing. Another thing is too, people need to read contract, because I know Taylor Swift was young when she first got in the business and her dad was helping her and stuff, but it's just like, your dad should have read that contract. If you had a problem with not owning your music from the beginning, then why would you even sign that contract? You know how many artists don't own their masters? I want to say 95% don't. Scooter's clients don't own their masters, but Scooter doesn't own his clients' music. His clients, like Ariana and Justin, their music is owned by their label, the same way that Taylor's was. So if Ariana's label was to get bought, then her masters would also go along with the label. And that's kind of just how music works, unless you want to buy your masters back, like Michael Jackson, people that have bought their masters back. This whole thing has been blown out of proportion. I think someone should apologize to Scooter. I don't want to say it's Taylor should, but I think someone should, maybe the public or just how people treated Scooter, because he really didn't deserve that just for, making a business decision that I'm sure anyone would make if they're making money and they can afford to do things like this. I don't think he really thought that there was any beef. I don't think he bought it just for the simple reason of it, pissing Taylor Swift off. She may not have liked him, I'll say that. Like, there's probably wasn't a reason for her to like him, but it's just like, what's the difference between one old white man owning your music to the other? At the end of the day, you never owned it to begin with. If you were okay every day before and you didn't own that music, why are you so mad now? Like, what's the difference? What can you do, I guess? There was a lot that I covered, so if you do have anything else you want to comment on or add or anything that you think I missed, or if you feel like I'm just delusional, I want to hear what you guys think, so please comment. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and you guys subscribe to my channel.